for quiz on the 20th. Somebody is saying that.
Guys, you can ask your questions. We'll respond. Kshitij, were you asking anything? I think at some point I saw you trying to speak. Kshitij Tripathi, you're on?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a question? I think I saw you at some point trying to speak.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, others, please go ahead and ask your questions.
Ma'am, is this specifically for week 8?
You can ask anything, no? It's from week 8 or before that. Everything works. You can ask a question, even if it is not from week 8. What is that? Somebody, I would like to listen more about interpretation of language by human brain. Okay. Now, who was that? What was your question? You can ask it. It doesn't have to be from week 8. Right, so 7 and you were on group discussion, basically on speaking and writing. That's why you don't have a question.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
Ma'am, while searching in Google, when we just a minute.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for finding the meaning of a word in through Google, how do we identify which level is stressed?
Sorry?
Which level is stressed in a word?
In Google?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that stress notation, no? That an apostrophe, but yeah, an apostrophe like mark. And before the stress syllable.
It is before the stress level or the.
Yeah, it is before the stress syllable.
So in
Even
discrimination.
in Google also it's like that. I've seen. I mean, we also keep checking these things online. I'm sure it's before the syllable. That's how you do it. Did you see anything else?
No, ma'am.
Right.
Actually, it was a confusion between the apostrophe, the word, the syllable precedes the apostrophe or the syllable that is after apostrophe.
The one following it.
Okay, ma'am.
By which it means you mark the stress right before the stress syllable. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So the one that follows the notation will be the one that's stressed everywhere, whether you're checking Google or a dictionary or anything. That's how it is now. Okay. That's all. Other questions?
Hello. Hi, ma'am.
Yes. Hi.
Ma'am, I'm having a question. Like, is the word like are the words like please mandatory to make requests?
Yes, ideally, yes. That helps you to, they are markers, the most commonly used markers for request.
Okay.
But they can have differential meanings based on the context they are used. But the general meaning of, I mean, in any general context, please could mean a request.
Okay, ma'am. I'm also having one of the doubt in one of the graded assignments. It's in the graded assignment 5. The question is like, what does the modal auxiliary in the following sentence denote? And the question is, can
So
you?
this is graded assignment 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
The question is, can you do everything on your own?
Can you do everything on your own? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the we have to find out the modal auxiliary. The sentence denotes.
What does it denote?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ma'am, I like my always like I'm in a perception that it always denotes a request but not the ability. So I'm setting the context like
Lida, you respond to this in a minute or two. I'll respond to the questions on model auxiliary. I'm looking at something else. Just a moment, I'll be back.
Sure, sure.
But you go ahead.
Sure, sir.
yes, ma'am.
So,
Like I'm setting always my context is like I'm setting the context as
okay.
I'm writing an exam and someone is asking the answer and I'm requesting him please write write the
Model
answer on your.
auxiliaries, I get your question, but model auxiliaries, the one thing with model auxiliaries is that each of them, they have, they can denote more than one thing. Okay. Most of these, did you join the session yesterday? The Learn the Rope session? Yes, no. Okay. Even if you have not joined, I think we've had a discussion on this and specifically can. Okay. So this can is one such model auxiliary which can have at least 6 different meanings. You will have to pick it up from the context. So I'll give you a few sentences and you tell me what it means to you. Okay. Those of you who are yesterday in the session, you will know this. We discussed this already. So look at this sentence. Can you look at something for me? Can you look at something for me? What is the, what do you think this is? Is it about ability, possibility, certainty, permission, offer, request? What does it denote to you? Saket, can you hear me?
Yes, it's a request.
No. It's a request, right? So
Yeah.
that you understand that. Now look at this sentence. I can't do anything for a while.
Ability.
Ability, right? Now,
Yeah.
machines can get like that sometimes. Machines can get
Possibility.
possibility, right?
Yeah.
Now, it can be him. It
Same
can be him.
possibility.
No, it's certainty. So say I'm sure. The other way of putting that sentence is I'm sure it's not him. Okay, so instead of that, I can say it can't be him. So you're implying certainty that you for sure know that it's not the person. Okay, right? And then look at another sentence. Can I take it for an hour or so?
Like the previous sentence I'm having the question, I'm like it can be him. It mean not, it means that he can be or he can't be, right? So how can it be a certainty?
Sorry, no. What can this question has a negative model, of course, not can. I'm not using can. And instead of can, I'm using can. Okay, or cannot. Right. but the meaning remains same. Just making it negative will only add the negative meaning to it. You are not changing the interpretation of what can means here. Okay, so it can be him. Basically, I'm saying I'm sure it can be him. So this is a sentence where the interpretation of can would be taken as expressing certainty. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And then if I have another sentence like, can I take it for an hour or so? What is that? Can I take it for an hour or so?
It's a request.
It's asking question. Okay. You're asking someone's permission. Can I take it for an hour or so? Okay. And then you have something like, can I help you with this? Can I help you with this? You're
This
making an
comes
offer.
yeah.
Offer. You're making an offer. So look at it. That one model, it can be used in at least 6 different ways, and can specifically out of the 9 that you have has the most number of meanings. They can be used in, which means at least 6 different contexts, right? So the drill here is to look at the context carefully, and only then you can make a difference. So in your question, what was that? Can
Can you do everything on your own?
Can you do everything on your own?
Yeah.
And your options have?
Options are possibility, ability, suggestion, request.
So what do you think it is? Can you do everything on your own?
Like
this is about what you
I'm
can
confused
do,
on this both
right?
things. Like it's ability and request. So I'm just not. I'm not being able to
This is
identify the
certainly not
correct one.
request. Certainly not request. Okay. This
Mhm.
is about you. Can you do everything on your own? Someone is trying to question your ability to be able to do that. Right. That's the reading you get out of that sentence. No, it's not a request. Nobody is asking to do whether you can do it or not. They're not asking. They're not requesting you to do it. They're trying to know from you whether you have the capability to do that. Can you do everything on your own? Right.
Yeah. Also, ma'am, like if the word please is added at the end of the question, like can you do it? Can you do everything on your own, please? Will it be a request or will it also be an ability?
Can you do everything on your own, please?
See, Lida, who was speaking?
Saket, sir.
Saket, see, once you add other things, see this distinction that we are making about ability, possibility, request, these are not hard and fast distinctions. So if you add, to be specific to your question, if you add please, then of course it becomes a request. However, in the absence of that, it may not directly or necessarily be read as a request. The primary reading comes about questions about ability of doing something. Get it?
Awesome.
So these are some of the, so when we say possibility or request and so on, these are the, sort of contexts that you can get out of this model. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You see, and are you overall clear about the use of model and its function in English? Are you clear about that?
I will need a few more explanations.
That's what I'm asking. If you have any, I heard you were asking about one or two models and one specific question. My point is, do you have clarity about the function of model in general?
No, it's not very clear, but I can understand, but it's not very clear.
Okay. Okay. See, model in English, in particular, in this discussion, or in general in any language, this is like adding additional aspect to the verb. Okay, and particularly in the absence of tense. So whenever we talk about modality, if you can keep that in mind, this tense and modality are mutually exclusive. This becomes one of the toughest thing for people to differentiate. So when we ask this question, what was this question? Can you do? Can you can you speak? Let's say, let me ask you a very general question. Can you speak? This is not, this sentence does not have any tense in it. Do we get this part? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
If you ask somebody, which means if you make someone speak, if you force someone to say, they will tell you present tense. But if you look at it carefully, this does not have present tense in it, because you cannot convert it into past. Get it? And no model can be converted from one to other, because conversion takes place only when you have a tense. When there is no tense, there is no question of changing one from the other or to the other. Get it?
Yes, sir.
These are the few things that we need to keep in mind about question of modality, or whenever we discuss models in English in particular, or for that matter in any other language in general. I see a very interesting tight handle here, Gurpreet Paul. Is Gurpreet here? I'm curious to ask him a question. Gurpreet Paul, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, what does this he, his, him mean in your name?
Sir, I've particularly seen that many, these are normal just pronouns, work pronouns, which I've seen that have really helped. That normally by my name, many people think that he's a male or a female. They confuse themselves because
Oh,
Gurpreet
really?
is a word
Okay.
that is used by many. So just to make a
Oh,
distinction, I have used these pronouns.
okay. I get it. I should have guessed. But Gurpreet Paul, Gurpreet is. Can this be? You are saying this can be a feminine name as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gurpreet can be a feminine name as well.
Yeah. I know one person called Gurpreet. Correct.
Sir, I have a not particularly a question, but I
Yeah.
just had a feedback I wanted to
Sure.
share.
Sure.
That
Sure.
sir, just this semester, in mid January, I was COVID positive, and I really had a very bad mental health condition, due to which I was not able to attend many of the live sessions.
Okay.
Although now I'm feeling better, I'm much better, and but sir, I think that uh, due to the all of the bonus marks, I think I am at a particular disadvantage because uh, although I was not able to attend those sessions, it was out of a very necessity. It was not a choice. So I think that it was a I'm at a disadvantage here, and there are many other students too who were COVID positive and couldn't really submit their assignments and attend live sessions, and
Mhm.
they just now are at a great disadvantage.
So I'm sorry to hear about that, and I feel better to hear that you are feeling much better now. But what was the disadvantage part? Have we given some
So
grace mark?
yes, not your grace marking, but
Hmm.
at least I feel that although the bonus marks, there are these bonus marks we get on attending all of the live sessions and submitting all of the activity questions and for answering the discourse answers. I think that those things we were not particularly able to do because our health didn't allow us, and we did not have any choice. And now many of us are not eligible for those bonus marks. So I think that we are at a disadvantage. So I did not get any help from any of the. Uh, I have talked to many people, many of the professors, and even to the support team, but I haven't got any particular answer from them. They are not able to provide any sort of a solution to this problem. So I just wanted to get your take on this, because I think this is something which has affected a lot of people in this program.
Lida, Aishwarya, do you understand what are we giving as bonus marks?
Sir,
Yes,
they
Aishwarya.
had given an announcement saying which students who attend the live sessions and who are active on the discourse forum will be given bonus marks. Uh, I'm not sure about the attendance part, sir. We are not doing the attendance part. The back end,
Uh-huh.
we are handling all the things related to the attendance and just to check like students who are active on the discourse forum.
Fact, they have dashboard, they have updated the entire bonus mark attributes. Attendance is the first line item. In the live session participation in minutes they give.
Yes,
Everything
I'm
is
also talking about, I'm referring to the live sessions only, not talking about the attendance, just the live
Okay.
session and the general participation in the program. Because I feel that for at least 2 or 3 weeks, uh, many people were just not able to actively, were not regular in that in the program for the duration they were in quarantine. So that is
When
what
you say
I
many
was.
people, who are you referring to?
Many people who were COVID positive, sir.
We haven't heard it from anybody else other than you.
So even in the we were just discussing. I had this point, and I was just discussing it in my Nalamala house when we
Okay.
were having discussion, and there
Which
was
house?
quite
Which house?
significant number of people who too were COVID positive, and they couldn't participate very actively in during those 2 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. See, 2 3 weeks won't make much of a difference. If you are participating now, I think you will get back to that. You will get the
I think that mark
same benefit.
week 1 to 4, and week 4 to 8 marks will be updated next month, and there is also 4 to 8 12 left, so you can always count on those weeks.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you have missed something, Gurpreet, don't worry about that. You were not well. You have missed it. You have missed it. Don't worry. That I will have to understand with the team people little later to respond to that. And I can assure you, I don't mean to brush it aside. I can assure you that I will talk to the people and we will do the best that we can. But I am trying to tell you, don't worry
Thank you,
about that. I
thank you
will
so much,
definitely.
sir, for your concern. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure. I'll do that. I'll don't want to spend too much time on this asking these people right now because I am not. You if you remember or if you see, I am mostly dealing with the content part and English part. So I don't quite. I am not updated with the admin decisions and parts of these things. But I'll check with the people and whatever the best that can be done for you or whoever missed a few weeks, we will do that. And second, and this is not just a general promise that I am making, I'm also suggesting you that suppose a situation where nothing can be done, I invite you again, now that you join all other sessions in the remaining 4 weeks, you will get back there accurately.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right.
So your voice is breaking.
He was. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible. Earlier, your voice was breaking.
Oh. So I was asking.
Voice
Sir,
is
again
breaking.
your voice is breaking.
Is here. I see some remarks in the. My voice will be breaking. So what can I do about it? Can you hear me now?
It's good now, sir.
Pallavi, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Now it's better.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
now it's good.
good, great. Sometimes I'm in a different place today, not in my office, and because of this fluctuating network, maybe some breaks. But do let me know if it breaks too much. I'll change the device. Anybody else has any other questions?
Your voice is not audible, sir.
Okay, just a moment. Is it better now? I'm going to change my device. Wait. Let me change my device.
Sir.
Yes, go ahead. Can you hear me better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, guys. Somebody was trying to say something. There are a lot of people now. You can speak now if you can hear me properly. I have changed my device. I think this will work better. Lida, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Is it better? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, can we discuss the question which you have posed in your last lecture?
Can we discuss what? Say it again.
The question that you have posed, that how human brains interpret the language.
Sure. We can discuss that. I was just waiting for people's question on that, or not on that in general, and then we will get back to that. So, okay, while nobody else has any specific question, let me talk to you about that. So, can you make your question a little more specific? You're talking about when I said last time a few things, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, what specifically would you want to know, or you want me to speak something about that in general?
Sir, I want that first you speak. Then, if some points are there, we can discuss about that thing.
Okay. All right. Now, see, I want to discuss those things with the help of examples. So, for example, okay, so let me tell you something. What I meant is, you see, you guys are. I want you to get the best out of these discussions. So this is this was my part of my plan, that if you, when you don't have questions, or even though you have questions, you should get something more than the regular answers about English language questions on English language and learning. You guys are doing good, and particularly those who are attending sessions and clarifying their doubts. We see the statistical improvements or results. Seems like you guys are doing quite well. So the idea was that we can talk few other things, which is, one of them is, how does language work as data? Because you, after your graduation, you are going to see, or you are going to work on data. Just hold on, just one moment, guys, hold on. Am I still audible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Ravika?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Interruptions. Okay. So I was telling you the background of this discussion. That is, I thought you should know. And then the question is, in an organized way, in a shorter period of time, what will be useful to you, and how would you know? You see, and so here are a few things that I wanted to discuss with you. The first thing is, when you start looking at the questions about data, and I'm not going, without going into the specific mathematical algorithm and details, I want to discuss generic and language related issues with you. So when you specifically, when you begin looking at how, what does data mean in the entire discourse of data science? I am planning to ask you questions about that because your understanding may differ. However, what I needed to talk about is related to language as data. And
Sir,
yeah, go ahead.
just I want to add a point. What I feel as a data is that it can be anything. It can be just as you have said about the language uses. We can, in fact, we were having one question also on that in last term in CT exam, that whether this paragraph is positive, negative, or it's just a neutral based on the uses of the words.
Yeah.
So,
correct. So if you are asked this question whether this paragraph is positive, negative, basically they are asking you, how do you interpret language, right?
yes, sir.
So
Actually, this kind of sort of algorithm can be applied in the case of the online review system, where people just comments and whether you should consider this as a neutral review or something like that. So in
sure.
that case, I think so data can be used in that way.
Right. So but I'm in the larger context, I am telling you, most of the data that we discuss as data is related to language in the domain of data science. We differ, people differ on those things, and one doesn't have to take it literally, but there is no exaggeration in saying language as data is an important aspect to deal with in the broader domain of data science. Moving ahead, is that okay? You guys understand? Language is a considerable part of the data in the domain of data science. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then the question is, what is the natural machine which deals with language? This is a theoretical question for you. That is human mind.
Human brain.
Human mind. Then question, so we are jumping because we don't have too much time to go into these things at a slow pace, but I'll try to be as slow as possible. Then the question is, when human mind is the first machine, let's take human mind as machine, which processes data, analyzes language, and here by data we mean language, processes language, analyzes language, and deals with it. Apart from many other things that human mind deals with. This is also a simple thing for you to understand, that human mind does not deal with language only. Rather, language is one of the things that it deals with. So that you can see the capacity of that machine is enormous, huge, because language happens to be just one tiny thing that it deals with. Get it? So, and why is it important to understand functioning of human mind and its relationship with data? Because you can draw a parallel, and this is not really parallel. This is how historically this entire discipline has shaped up. And that means looking at the architecture of human mind, we have machines designed. And the moment you talk about data, you have to talk about machine. That is the machine that deals with data. So in an artificial sense, the machine that you are going to be dealing with and the machine that deals with data is roughly called a computer. right? No, irrespective of how intelligent that machine is, there is limitation to that, but that machine is known as computer. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
In that case, and from that point, one needs to understand the parallel or distinction between the processing of human mind and processing of information in an artificial machine called computer. How does a computer processes information, and how does human mind process information? You know more about computer science, you know more about computers and its algorithm. But I take very brief thing from there for you, which is because the machine itself is artificial, it deals with artificial language. The crux of computer or computational thinking and computational process is artificial language. And there are, I'm sure you have gone through the historical development of how machines communicate with one another or in a large network. You need specific language for that. And that language is called artificial language. Am I right in my understanding?
Yes, sir.
That is what is called computation. That is what is responsible for computation. No. And I'm trying to draw the parallels every time with you. So because the machine is artificial and the language is designed by people, it's called artificial language, and which is larger part of artificial intelligence and so on. But because in case of language, because the machine is natural, it deals with natural language, therefore it doesn't need any additional language to be installed in it. The language that is installed in it, or the language that it works with, is called natural language. And the entire field of what we know as artificial intelligence, artificial design, artificial machines, they are all related to the distinction lies between natural and artificial. Artificial is not a bad word or is not a derogatory word. It simply means man-made, designed, additionally designed system. And what human mind deals with is natural, and in the sense that it is not man-made. So this parallel is important for you to understand. To be what we metaphorically say in English, to be on top of the discipline. You need to look at the macro picture of the discipline only when you are on top of it, and then you will understand it better. To achieve that goal, I want to discuss a few things with you about how human mind as a machine processes natural language as data. In fact, everything that human mind processes is part of natural data. But more specifically, certain specific operations and certain specific examples will help you understand. And I think one day we had discussed how we learn language. I'm going to give you today one specific example which will relate to some learning from English. So I just heard even today somebody was asking this question. I mean, just think about you are at a stage where you can think about these things. Therefore, I am raising these questions. Somebody was asking in the beginning a question, how, or many of you have asked this question at multiple times. How do we know where which syllable gets stressed? You remember this question? It's a very familiar question. How do we know which syllable gets stressed? And we have tried to tell you few things, and every time, multiple times we tell you that we need to train ourselves for that with practice, and slowly you will get that, because there is no specific rule to get it right away. We only need to work on it in a slow motion, with slower speed to get there. So how do we? I mean, the point is, we tell you, you don't ask anything after that, but I want you to make sense out of what we say. And therefore, I am going to give you a couple of other examples, not just from syllabification or a stress pattern. We are going to give you examples of how we, as learners of language, develop certain rules of language internal to human mind. And here is one example for that. Am I still clear? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. There is some background noise. I am sorry. I am unable to help with that because there are some kids playing right outside the window. I can't stop them. But if you focus on what I am saying, it will be clearer to you. We have discussed with you in this class as well, and in multiple classes wherever you have learned English as language, you must have had this opportunity to deal with, that is plural formations in English. All English nouns must be, we pluralize English nouns, don't we? Then the question is, how do we, if we are learning a language at a later stage, how do we learn that effectively? How do we learn that effectively without difficulty? And the answer to this question is, we can learn it only when we pay attention to the rules that are derived by looking at how native speakers of the language effortlessly acquire these rules in their mind. Only then, if we look at such a rule, only then we can learn at that level. So I am going to make this distinction. I'm going to ask you a few things, and then you will understand. Are we okay so far? Are you with me? Do you understand what I am talking about?
Yes.
Or more importantly, do you hear me properly? If you hear me, half of the things are done. Okay. I assume that you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are. Yes, it is clear.
Okay, great. Now, so I irrespective of whether we have discussed this topic in our videos so far or not, maybe we dealt with this in English 1. You tell me, you remember? I'm not asking you about how we have discussed it. You tell me, how were you taught before this course about plural formation in English? How were you, what were the things that you were told? Just few people can respond to that, and I'll be fine with that. Do you understand the question? How did you learn plural formation in English? Can somebody speak? Can somebody tell me?
Words ending with
Something will have IES, something will have only S.
Okay.
Like that.
So these were the things that were told to you, right?
Yes, sir.
But did you ask or did you wonder what those words are? Which words will take S and which words will take IES?
The word ends with pa, ta, ka. If the word ends with the pa, ta, ka sounds, we
Yes.
add S. Plural marker S.
Ah.
I sound.
Otherwise, we add IZ or EZ. Baby.
You were telling me what we have told you in this course, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not IZ or EZ or just Z. It's the sound. The. The sound. So basically we are saying words that end with sounds like pa, ta, ka, their plurals will sound as sa. Everywhere else, in all other words, it's going to sound as za. That's what we are saying.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Now, this is how native speakers learn. That is, by native speakers, here I mean, this is how English speaking children who grow up listening to speak English, this is how they learn plural formation. Okay? But I want to compare it with how we learn. That is, somebody was telling me, before you, somebody said, we are taught you add S in some places, you add IES in some places, you add.
Using of double E instead of double O, like
Right,
two,
right.
three.
Just one moment again, guys. Just hang on. Stay on. Sorry again, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, I have moved out of computer on phone because it was difficult for you to hear. Therefore, these interruptions. Okay. So let me conclude the discussion for today. So remember, so what are the markers that we are told in grammar books and in classes? What are the things that we are told that we have to do? S, ES, IES, and what else?
Double E instead of double O.
Right. That is about the tooth and teeth you are talking
Yes,
about,
sir.
right?
Yes.
But can you tell me more examples where you do double E and double O? When double O becomes double E, can you give me more examples of that?
And feet, FWE.
What? Foot becomes
Yes,
feet.
sir.
Goose
More?
and geese.
goose and geese. So these are some examples, and you, trust me, you won't get more than 10 or 15 words like that. If we have found 3 so far. If you struggle harder, you will find 3-4 more. You don't reach 10. Do you have a list of 10 words like that?
Not now, sir. You have to find it.
It is just not possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else? What else do we do? So right now we are not talking about plural. Right now I'm talking to you about how our mind processes data. So I'm going to conclude that, but tell me a little more. What else do we do with that? What are the other rules of plurals? I'm just taking pluralization as sample to show you how we process it.
If any word ends with Y, then to make it plural, we add IES instead of Y.
But that not all the time.
Yes, sir, but this is the things which we have
That's
learned.
That's what we are told, right? And
Yes.
when we are being told these things, no matter how painful that is, we don't even question these things, right? I mean, think about it. You have a word like baby. The plural is definitely, in the plural form, we add IES, right? Baby.
Yes, sir.
But in monkey, what do we do?
Monkeys, only S.
In key, what do we do? KEY, key.
Only S.
So the question is, as a learner, how do I learn? What happens and what goes where? Now, I'm not asking you to wonder. I'm telling you, as a grown-up adult, if you are learning this, you get confused. Or you can potentially become confused. But as a child, in English environment, children have absolutely no difficulty. They know the monkey will get something, or key will get something, or baby will get something. There is absolutely no difficulty. That is because when we are taught not how we speak. We are taught how we write. Our focus of teaching is on spelling, not on speaking. So if you focus on speaking, and as somebody gave you the 2 rules, only 2 rules of English, either sa or za as plural marker. That rule comes from generalizations based on how we speak. So whether it is monkey or key or baby, what is the plural sound in all 3 of these words? What is the plural sound?
Z.
Z. So it doesn't matter how we write, whether we write S or ES or IES, sound has to be Z. And therefore our mind does not get confused. Now look at it. It's not monkey, it's not key. What happens to boy? Right? That also gets
Z sound.
Z sound. So our entire should be on. So let me put it this way. If we focus on how we speak, this entire problem gets reduced to a very simple and trivial issue. The reason why it sounds trivial is because we are looking at how our mind processes this thing. So, and to understand the processing of, now I am flipping the coin on the other side. To understand how mind processes information, the best sample comes from language data. Look at it. You try to confuse mind in whatever possible way. I'm giving you 4 examples. They take different types of markers: boy, key, monkey, baby. But the reason why mind does not get confused is the sound is Z in all these words. So as if you study human mind properly, there is a proverb or a proverbial statement in the study of human mind, which is human mind is one of the most complex and complicated entity that one can ever interact with. But it likes simplicity. It does not like complexity. It is complex by itself, but it doesn't like complexities. It is complex because it deals with complex things, but it likes simplicity. The patterned functioning of human mind is very simple and not complex. How do we reach that generalization? Only when we look at data. Only when we look at what it processes, that is language. Today, I am giving you just one example of plural formation. I gave you 2-3 points about what to think about this natural machine and natural language. Next time when I discuss with you, I'll give you 2 more. So today I gave you examples at the level of words, that is plural formation. Next time I'll give you examples at the level of sentence. And third time I'll give you example at the level of discourse. That somebody raised a question that is this paragraph negative or positive? So paragraph is at the level of discourse. I'll talk about words, sentence, and discourse for you to understand how natural language is processed through human mind. Is that okay, guys? Is there any questions about the brief thing in the last 10 minutes I have been telling you about?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. If you have any questions, you can ask me. That was, who was that? Pallavi, right? Ravikant or others, if you were asking some questions. I am sorry I am unable to get the chat box. But you can. Yes, you can speak.
Sir, I had posted 2 sentences a little before you started this discussion.
Okay.
So,
What are they?
okay. So the first sentence is, could you pass the wait 1 minute. Could you pass the bottle, please? This is the first sentence, and the second sentence is, could you please pass the bottle? So are these both correct?
Yeah, please is a word, if you put at any place, it doesn't make much of a difference.
And when it comes to writing, in the first sentence, we give a comma and then put please, right?
Correct.
And in the second, we don't need any comma.
Correct.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Anything else, guys, about what I was speaking?
Sir,
Yes.
last session you asked one question that we can learn new language at smaller age easily.
Right.
That one you didn't answer.
I didn't answer because I started answering these things. See, we learn new language easily at a younger age because our ability. See, for that you need to understand how do we learn language. And I know, I understand what you are asking. So allow me to discuss this part about what makes children learn faster compared to grown-up people. Just think about the example I gave you at the level of words. Children will have absolutely no difficulty with these things. And that's what I am trying to tell you. And I'll give you, when I give another example at the level of sentence, and I explain one more thing with you, that is how children learn language faster, then it will become clear. It won't be possible in few minutes to talk about it. But I remember, and who was that?
Kanagadara, sir.
Okay, Kanagda. So you won't have to ask this question again. I'll discuss this next time when I talk about it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. I hope this is clear, and allow me to discuss few more things about it. Then probably it will make more sense. These things require contemplating time for you. So if you find it, if you find it makes you think even a little bit about structure of language, think about it. You don't have to ask a question right today. You can ask anytime, and then we will discuss this further. Anything else, guys? Okay. So can we stop in that case then for today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Leader, Aishwarya?
Yes, sir.
We'll stop.
Ask the admin people to terminate it
Sure.
next week. Thank you, guys. We'll interact with you more on these things and others next week.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.